What's up, y'all? It's the Venus Journey podcast where we discuss, enjoy, and analyze music, artists, and entertainment. I think this is just going to be a quick thought. I don't see it being long enough to constitute an entire episode, but I wanted to talk really quickly about the tweets I saw today from Lit Mommy. I've never heard of this person until today. Apparently she was dating the rapper Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs is someone that I am familiar with. His music is cool. But she came on Twitter and made a thread basically chronicling their relationship leading up to the fact that she is pregnant, like 6 months pregnant right now, and he has ghosted her. And initially, when I read this, I was like, I don't understand why she's coming to Twitter with this. And then I found out she's 25 years old. And I said, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Freddie Gibbs is 40 years old, just to give you an idea of what we're dealing with here. So the man that she is pregnant by is 40 years old. He has children from 3 other women. She is the 4th person to get pregnant by him or to carry to term a pregnancy by him that we know of. In this thread, she talks about how she fought grown men for this man. She says they got jumped when they were in New York. She was fighting grown men. She got her chain snatched. She lets us see screenshots of texts where they are talking about building a family, having a baby, yada, yada, yada. It's also revealed that she was paying his phone bill. That's what she says. Allegedly, she was paying his phone bill. There was a lot to unpack between the fighting, the paying his phone bill. Oh, and she is by trade, she is a sex worker. I'm bringing these things up because I feel like they're all different layers to this type of situation. Also, Freddie Gibbs is black and she is, I think, Latina. She looks white. She looks like a white Latina. She's not black. I'm mentioning this for a reason because I think it matters when we look at the state of the world and the things that are happening and the way that the culture is moving. These type of things matter to somebody like me. So I'm mentioning these things in case they matter to somebody like you. This was interesting to me for several different reasons. Obviously, it's a sad situation. A baby is being born into a situation where the parents are not communicating. But I also thought it was interesting the fact that this man is 40 years old. He has 3 other children that he allegedly is struggling to take care of. I'm saying allegedly because we don't really know, but that's what he supposedly said in the text messages that she posted. He was allegedly telling this young woman, 15 years his senior, that he wanted to have a baby by her and have a family with her and things like that. He was participating in the acts that lead to a child being conceived with her. When she told him that she was pregnant, his whole demeanor changed. He told her that he wasn't ready to have another kid, and he was led to believe that she was going to terminate the pregnancy. She says she went to terminate the pregnancy and she was further along than she thought she was. And because she could see her baby moving around and things like that, that led her to keep the baby, and they have not spoken since. And I guess this is what leads her to come to Twitter to air him out and let everybody know what the situation is. She said that she posted the thread because she wants people to know what she's talking about once a podcast episode gets released. So this thread is basically serving as the rollout for the podcast episode she's going to be featured on, I guess. And the fact that a podcast episode and a thread on Twitter detailing their intimate relationship and how she came to be pregnant is the way she's choosing to cope with not having her child's father in her life, not having access to him. It's just very interesting to me. It makes sense based on the type of world we live in and the fact that she's an adult entertainer. She makes her living from the internet. She makes her living from being interesting and appealing to the public, as many people do. Most people's responses to this were clowning her. Some people were empathetic. Some people were talking about how bad of a person Freddie Gibbs was. And I'm just like, wow. This is what 2023 looks like. Mind you, it's a full moon and an eclipse. Y'all should know by the title of this podcast that I am very into astrology and I keep up with things like that. So something scandalous being outed at a time like this definitely tracks astrologically. On another note, this situation kind of reminded me of Danny Lay because it's another situation of a non-black woman getting pregnant by a black man and being abandoned and treated terribly. And we can kind of guess that they believe that they are not going to be treated that way based on the fact that they are these men's preference, even though they have examples of their other children's mother not being treated well. And I think that on some level they believe that that doesn't apply to them because those other women are black and they're not. I feel like there was a time when there was this narrative, this dominant narrative that black men were treating non-black women better because they were their preference, because they were not black, because they were quote unquote exotic or closer to whiteness. And there was truth to that. And I feel like we are consistently seeing that narrative shift in the public eye, so to speak, because I think that there were probably always examples of black men choosing these non-black women and still abandoning or abusing them and things like that. But I feel like we're seeing a lot more of it happen publicly now, which is interesting. And I just wonder how that is affecting the psyches of the people who are consuming this. I wonder what it's saying, and I wonder what the consequences are to that. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't have any concrete thoughts about it. I am a black woman. I'm 30 years old. All of my partners have been black men, just so you know where I'm coming from with this. But I don't really have too strong of an opinion on black men dating non-black women. It's not really my business until they say something about black women. And even then, it's barely my business because 9.999 times out of 10, whoever is speaking is someone that has nothing to do with me or my day-to-day life. I've been dark-skinned and female all my life. I've dealt with colorism all my life. Nothing that anybody says about Black women really affects me at this point in my life. I'm pretty numb to it, so I don't even find myself retaliating about things like that because I feel like my energy is better spent elsewhere on different things. Anyway, I'm bringing this mess to y'all, and low-key, I kind of apologize, but I just wonder if y'all think about things like this and about how they affect the world that we live in. As things like this happen, how it contributes to the digital landscape and how people utilize social media to cope with their interpersonal relationships, how these type of things being consumed is going to affect the psyche of people consuming it, especially younger people whose brains are not fully developed yet. It just feels like a sociological experiment to me. So I wanted to know what y'all think. Please keep y'all comments as respectful as possible. I know this is some mess, and so it's like you might only be able to be but so respectful in voicing your opinion, and I get that, but please just try to keep it respectful. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I think with my next video, I want to talk about something positive. Like, I think the channel is going to need a cleanse after this one. All right, y'all. Peace.